What's up, guys? My name is Arthur Romero. Some of you guys might know me as Coach A. We're just out here today working with the youth athletes over at Bosco Tech High School. This is a school I attended. I just felt like the need to come out here and just get back to the kids. But welcome to my YouTube channel. We're gonna be going over a lot of stuff as far as like recruiting, motivational stuff, weightlifting stuff, nutrition, pretty much anything you guys need. Just feel free to tap in with me and let me know what you guys want. All right, let's get it. Face you forward, open up. Nope. Face you forward, open up. Nope. Go. Face you forward, open up. Okay, so I have Raylene Love on Instagram. She asked me why and how you started up Beast. So one of the reasons why I started Beast was just for like the younger generation of athletes in the San Gabriel Valley. I grew up in El Monte, California, so for me, I was like, I think there's a lot of unreached potential that we haven't seen yet as far as kids who can really make it to the next level and don't really get the proper amount of coaching. So for me specifically, I was just thinking, you know, there's a lot of kids that really need that extra step in coaching, and if somebody really just took the time out of their day to give it to them, they could progress that much faster and be that much better. Another one of the questions that was asked to me was what B stands for. B stands for binary, exercise, and sports training. So for those of you that don't understand what binary stands for two things pertaining to the same thing. So you have like dynamic stretching, static stretching, you have Pilates, you have yoga, you have weightlifting. Those are all different types of exercise, right? And so binary is two things pertaining to the same thing. So all those different types of exercise pertain to sports, right? And so that's the second portion of it, which is sports performance training, right? So binary exercise and sports training. So the sports training portion of it is just learning like really good sprint mechanics, understanding how to optimize your body's performance, whether it be football, basketball, soccer, track, volleyball, whatever sport it is that you need to play and then you want to improve on. Then we go over the specific movements that are required for that specific sport. With the ball tight, okay? Just working, and then we're gonna get ready and go. Good, stay low, butt down. Good, eyes up, get out. Good. One of the next questions I got was from a girl named Yara Lizama, I think. It says, talk about your goal with the company and why you decided to start a nonprofit. So when I first started out coaching, for me, it really wasn't about the money. I didn't ask kids like, oh, give me $50 to train you for an hour. Like, I thought that was really trying to take money from kids, and my biggest objective was trying to help them and put knowledge into their minds instead of taking money out their pockets. So I was charging kids about no more than $25 for a 1 to 2 hour training session. So for me, I was like, man, I'm not really making any money. And that wasn't my motive behind it. It was more about helping the kids. And so when I got to the point where I had a lot of kids, they started telling me like, oh, coach, you know, you should start a 7-on-7 program. I think that we can make a really good team. And so I started to kind of group kids together and just kind of bring them together. And I looked at what other 7-on-7 organizations were doing, and they were charging like on the upward side of like $400 for just to be a part of the team. And so for me, I was like, man, that's a lot for the kids that are in the San Gabriel Valley, because we come from lower income communities. So for me, it was just really about just helping kids and really putting knowledge into their minds instead of taking money. And the fact that it's a nonprofit organization, it really helps us and allows us to network not only with the kids in our area, but as well as like the local Pop Warner teams and stuff like that, to really broaden our spectrum as far as who we get to reach and who we get to influence on and off the field. All right, so we're just gonna attack up. Okay, we're gonna go in and out the cone. We're gonna start on the left side. Which side are we starting on?
Left.
Then we're gonna go to the right side. What side are we going to?
Right.
Then we're gonna go to what side again?
Left.
Then we're gonna go to what side again?
Right.
Good, so I'm gonna show you, okay? I'm gonna attack up, outside, 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 okay, and then finish through. Okay, so I have another question from Nick Meza. It says, was being a trainer your dream? No, not really. When I was going from like the 8th grade to my freshman year in high school, coming to Bosco Tech, I did a lot of work with like robotics and engineering. So for me, and being an athlete, I wanted to incorporate both and kind of work with prosthetics and people who competed in the Special Olympics. So I wanted to be a prosthetics engineer. And then from there, I continued my education through Bosco, and I was like, you know what? Engineering is cool, but I'd rather work more hands-on with people who are actually in the field and are actually actively playing. So for me, I was starting to take more of like the athletic trainer route as far as like taping kids up, working with them on the sideline during games and stuff like that. And that's actually what I started to go to school for in college when I attended the University of La Verne. But when I got there, I was like, you know what? I want to be a sports performance coach. I want to help kids and really teach them the body mechanics that they need to optimize their performance, you know? So for me, it was just kind of like, what impact can I make and how big of an impact can I make on the kids? And I felt just, you know, being a sports performance coach and actively being on the field with them every day, just giving them different motivational tips, giving them different life tips, that was going to be more beneficial than me sitting behind a desk working on engineering projects as far as prosthetic goes. Right, our shoulders are forward, right? When I turn around, I'm going to turn my shoulders entirely this direction. Okay, attack, and then turn again. Okay, I want to change my direction on the field. Does everybody got it? Does everybody got it?
Let's go.
So another question I got asked, I forgot who asked me on Instagram, but somebody asked me, what are my goals for Beast and what do I plan to do with it? So based off of the first year as far as Beast goes, we had 2 7-on-7 teams, and what 7-on-7 is basically two-hand touch, and it's just the wide receivers and the quarterbacks. There's no linemen involved. So for next year, my main goal is to get more kids out. I really want to get like a 10U, 11U team, a 13U, 14U team, and I want to have a high school team and an elite high school team. So I actually currently coach at Cathedral High School right now, so I plan on bringing some of the kids from over there, as well as some of the kids from San Gabriel Valley, to really put together a really good finished product. The 7-on-7 organization, being nonprofit, that entity of the corporation is already done. It's already solidified, it's already finished. So now my biggest thing is working on getting more kids out and really just taking the time to really develop them, but not only in their sport, but as far as weightlifting, like I said, adding motivational tips, life skills. There's a lot of things that these kids need in life that aren't really taught in school, that I feel like if we bring to light on them while we have them for a short amount of time on the weekend, we could really make a bigger difference on their future. I really kind of want to just have like a place where kids from all over the area could just meet up and talk and network with each other and really like learn things from each other, you know what I mean? Because if you have a kid who grew up in Montebello and he was a DB and he learned one style his whole life, well, you might get a kid from West Covina who also played DB and learned one style his whole life. And if you bring those two kids together and they talk and they're like, hey man, you know, I learned this, and the other kid's like, well, I learned this, they're gonna collaborate on that and they're gonna use and learn those two different techniques and incorporate them in their game. You know what I mean? And that's really what makes kids better at the end of the day. Trust me, so I'm gonna catch it, palms up with both hands. Okay, does that make sense? Running backs have to be really good at catching. Not just our receivers, you have to catch the ball too. So I'm gonna throw the ball up. So I'm gonna say a little bit about myself. One thing I want everybody to understand, this YouTube channel is not really about my feelings. It's not gonna be a vlog about Arthur, about my life story. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to shed light on my journey as far as being an entrepreneur. And like I said, just really touch up on motivational key points that I feel like can help people in their daily lives. But it's really not about me. It's really not about my emotions. But to give you guys a little background on who I am and what I do, I'm 20 years old, started my own company at 19. It officially became an incorporation at 20 years old. I attended Bosco Tech in Rosemead. I also played football for a year at the University of Laverne. I'm a kinesiology major. My emphasis is health and human performance, and for me, that's how I really work with kids. All the business aspects and learning like business tips and drills and stuff like that have been all on my own. I've really taught myself a lot of it, and some people that I really look up to and people that influence me to take this route are people like Steve Jobs, like Gary Vee, Kanye West, Iggy Johnson, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But I don't want people to come on here thinking I'm gonna be talking about my feelings, be vlogging about my day. You might get it like a life in the day of Coach A, but I'm not gonna be telling you guys about what I ate the night before or no spicy noodle challenge. That's not what this is. So I just want to be clear so everybody knows that that's how we coming. And I hope that you find some type of motivation or some type of influence to go out there and do your own thing. Just be great. You know what I mean? Don't hold anything back, because if you hold stuff back, then you never know where you could be in life.